Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to talk about something very specific. And this is a question that I get on a lot of my videos because people ask which barrel I should be using. Should I be using the Liberator? Should I be using the Spetsnaz RPK? Should I be using the Takedown? Should I be using the Ranger? Should I be using the Task Force? And essentially the choice almost always for weapons that are for long range comes down whether or not you want to use the 4th barrel or the 6th barrel. So that's what we're going to be looking at today for all of the Cold War rifles. So if you enjoy the video, learn something new, please do me a favor, hit the like button. Goal in today's video is 7,000 likes, so hopefully you guys can crush that number. And if you're brand new, want to find your way back, double check, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. Just a heads up, my code for Gfuel is currently discounted for the 30% off. So if you're looking to get yourself stocked up or try something new, definitely go check the link near the top of the description. So let's go ahead and get into it. So what I had to do was go into Plunder, and as we know, Plunder is a little bit broken where you can't change the loadouts. The devs are aware of it to my knowledge. So I had to do a couple different loadouts here and then do some side-by-side testing, firing the same amount of bullets if I was using the FARA versus the FARA, the C58 versus C58. As I've already done side-by-side recoil comparisons, this one's more specific, head-to-head, specific for the barrel. So ideally, in some cases where the weapons had a little bit lower recoil, I went for more bullets so I can get a longer spread and get a better comparison. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and check out now. So to make this as easy as possible, you can kind of see how they have them lined up here. The Krig, you can see the barrel 4, which kind of goes up a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, and then back up. But the overall height is slightly lower than barrel 6, and it doesn't have quite as big a turn right here. Keeping in mind that the Krig fire rate is nothing special. It's right around 650 or so. So this isn't firing incredibly fast. But you can kind of see this one is much smoother for the barrel 4, which would mean in theory it should be a little bit easier to use. With the QBZ, very negligible difference, but you can see there is a little bit of an angle to this QBZ. So if you struggle with any side to side or any lateral movement, you're going to want to go with barrel 6. But you can see that barrel 4 is very well within reason being able to control that recoil. It's not a lot of direction changes. XM4, you can see that there is a distinct difference, especially in these first few shots here. You can see that these ones, the spacing is a lot closer than we see on barrel 4. And then as we get a little bit further here, the angle isn't quite as steep and the magnitude is a little bit less. So overall, barrel 6, hands down, is the way to go for this XM4. We're also going to talk a little bit about aim down sight speed because that's important. The other part that some people worry about is bullet velocity. It's identical. The range is there, but normally where you're going to be challenging these gunfights, the range isn't all as important, but it's something to consider. Then we have the AK-47. These kind of look even. Looks like for the first shots, it looks like barrel 6 comes out maybe a little bit ahead, but barrel 4 has a little bit more consistency. And you can see this grouping over here on barrel 4 versus, so there's a little bit of inconsistency on both. I think the problem is that the AK-47 just inherently has more recoil. So regardless of which option you go with, you're going to have to know how to handle recoil if you're going to be using this thing for range. And that's why it's a little less practical, considering this is 30 bullets and there is a ton of spacing throughout. Then we have the FFAR. You can kind of see it goes up here. It's a little hard because the shadow. Barrel 4 goes up to the right, turns hard left, and then goes up, and then the recoil is pretty easy after that. When we get the barrel 6, you can see the spacing isn't all that bad, and you don't have to adjust as much for the side to side, but the vertical is slightly higher as we're seeing here. The Groza, hands down, even though it still has this stupid little bend in it, they smoothed it out. It still has a little bit too much of a bend in my opinion. So barrel 6 seems to be the way to go. As far as the FARA goes, both look like great options. You can see that this one comes up to about here and this one's up to about here. So not a negligible difference, but you can see this one gets back straight vertical a lot quicker and the angle is pretty consistent, but it gets to there much quicker. It doesn't go as far to the left. So a little bit tightening up that horizontal. And then for the C58, you can see that they're pretty much even. It's almost identical when you look at these head to head. So it's kind of one of those things that it's close, but it's really going to come down to preference. And to make this a lot easier for you, I've actually added this to the spreadsheet where I have all the loadouts, the rankings, the TTK charts. So that's what we're going to take a look at now. So like I said, this is the spreadsheet linked in the description. You can go ahead and click on it, bookmark it, and it'll update pretty much in real time. So here's how it'll look for you in the spreadsheet. When you click on this tab, you're going to have a weapon, barrel 4, aim down sight. So I don't have to worry about naming one Ranger, one Task Force, or any of those types of things. And then we have the ADS speeds of those, and then the difference, because the one that's barrel 6 is pretty much always going to be slower than barrel 4, because barrel 4 doesn't come down with that aim down sight penalty. It does give you a little bit more range, but like I said, it's really not as important of a stat for a lot of these engagements that you're going to be taking. And then we also converted the difference in milliseconds to frames at 60 FPS. So this is how many frames different it will be on console, 60 FPS, or if you have a little bit more of a slower performing PC, where you're not maybe maxing out those frames, this is how many frames difference you'll notice that difference. And then I also have the, what I think is the better barrel. And as you can see right here for the Krig, I say barrel 4, but it is close. Barrel 6, but it is close for the QBZ. So you might want to save those extra 2 frames and go with barrel 4. When it comes to the XM4, we can see that it does have a little bit more of an advantage with the 6. Too big of a difference to pass that up, even though 4 is still manageable. When it comes to the AK-47, you can kind of see it as it goes on and on. So that's kind of as simple as it is using the meta build. So that's going to include the 6 muzzle, the field agent grip equivalent, so whatever grip that is for the individual weapon, I think that's grip 5, and then whatever mag you want to use depending on the mode, and then the 3X, and then whatever barrel. So it's barrel 4 or barrel 6, and that's the only difference changing in these individual loadouts. So hopefully that helps you when building your class setups to kind of have a nice, easy, concise place to find which barrel you should be using, and if it makes a big difference, if you want to kind of opt for a little bit better aim down sight. If there's something else you'd like me to add to the spreadsheet similar to this, please comment that down below. If you did enjoy the video, please do me a favor, hit the like button. If you're brand new and want to find your way back, subscribe with notifications on. Again, reminder, my Gfuel code is currently discounted to 30% off. Link near the top of the description, or just code JGOD at checkout. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.